Howdy, how's it going? Welcome back, and howdy if you're new. So today we're going to be covering something very, very informative, but also very controversial. There is basically a big misunderstanding when it comes to docks and what you need and what you don't need. So if you have an ROG Ally and you are thinking about picking up a dock and you want to be able to play it on the TV and you want to be able to get the most FPS out of your machine, I'm going to show you why the stock power adapter is probably not enough for you, and we'll get into that. So before we get further, I will say this video was sponsored by Ugreen. They sent over a lot of accessories, and that doesn't impact what we're going to find out here. This is a full proof video. I've got a little power cable with an OLED on it that shows how much power we're pulling. We're going to test each and every power adapter on this table, and also just for kicks and giggles, a lot of people are like, oh, it's just the dock. No, it's not just the dock, it's every dock. It doesn't matter if it's a tiny teeny little dock like this or a big full-size dock that actually has dual display. Doesn't matter what dock you're using. If you want the full 30 watts like you see right here, that needs to have a little bit of extra juice. The reason is that is the wattage for your APU. Now if you look right here in Armory Crate, this first slider says 30 watt, second slider says 43, that says 53. These are basically, you can think of them as like turbo boost, basically, where during certain scenarios it can boost a little bit more juice and give you a little bit more FPS in demanding scenarios. So if you're playing it at 25 watts, all of these are going to be lower, and we're going to show you that in just a second. So first of all, I've got a game in the background running, and you can see coming at the dock, we're pulling 64, 66, 65, and that is coming off of our Ugreen 100 watt charger. Now I'm going to minimize this, or actually I'll just pull the game up and I'll show you that it runs pretty smooth. So this game is very demanding. This is Need for Speed Heat. There's tons and tons of reflections going on. Without running it at the 30 watt manual mode, there's a lot more frame dips and it feels a lot more stuttery, loading different scenes and going into different places. But yeah, so let's see. I'll actually show you. Do this in real time. So we're drawing 65, 66 still. So follow the charger here. We'll unplug that. We'll plug this in our handy dandy Ugreen RG charger. Now this is perfect if you are not docked or you don't care about the extra power for the games. Completely a perfect charger for you. But you can look here, 54, 56. It's not even drawing the same amount of power. It's just not going to do it. And if you look right here, 25 watts is the most that you can get without having more power. So we'll take the stock ROG Ally power adapter, and we got the same thing over here, 25 watts manual. So your stock power adapter is not going to do it. Any other 65 watt power adapter is not going to do it. And then we'll take right here, we'll plug it in this big old Ugreen power bank. This is the DigiNest Cube, and we'll see, does it have just enough juice? It might. I don't think it does. Yeah, so 50, 52, 54, 57, 58. Oh, it's getting there. It's trying. 59, 56. Nope, it gets down too low. So right here, 25 watts, the most we're gonna do. But we'll take that same charger here, bypass the dock, and now we have the 30 watt manual, and you can see that everything is okay and it's drawing more power now. 66, 67, 66. It's a little hard to explain, but these docks themselves do consume a little bit of power, and it plays with the way the software works. It plays with everything. Seeing is believing. If you're looking for a dock, 100%, if you don't have some type of 100-watt charger, this is my go-to right here. And I'm going to show you why, okay? So this dock is going to complement this perfectly, okay? Bear with me. Let's say you want to buy a portable display. You're going to need power to power that portable display via USB-C. So now you've got another spot where you can plug in a portable display here. Then you can plug in like your iPhone here. You can plug in something else. So you've got more than enough power to power up all your stuff to go somewhere and only have one brick with you. It just makes things simple to just carry one brick in your bag. This has quite a bit of features on it. The thermal guard will help your stuff not overheat. So I don't know if you've ever felt a cable or felt the charger before. Some of these things can get crazy hot, and if they don't have the right protections in place, they could melt, they could catch on fire. You know, not a good day if that happens, right? So the GaN technology, all that means is it's basically higher efficiency. If you're looking at a power supply for your computer, they have like bronze, gold, platinum. This would be like maybe the platinum or the gold. You know, these are going to be your higher tier efficiency rated power adapters. So they're going to be able to output power at a much more efficient rate. I'm all about efficiency. When I buy a power supply, I don't buy the bronze, I don't buy the white, I buy the platinums, I buy, you know, the golds, or, you know, whatever. I'm not going to buy, you know, some rinky-dink power supply to power up a component that I just spent hundreds of dollars for. Why would you cheap out on a power adapter? It blows my mind. Now keep in mind, Ugreen sent all this stuff over. They are a channel sponsor. They didn't pay me to say any of this, but they did send me this stuff. And a lot of my colleagues, they run Ugreen stuff. You've seen these on Linus Tech Tips. You've seen Ugreen. I know you guys know the brand. They're a very well-known brand. I mean, currently, you know, it's probably the most popular brand out there, so you don't really have to worry about brand reputation. So like I said, if you're looking for a dock this holiday, you're going to need more than what your stock Ally power adapter can do. So yeah, unfortunately, that's just how it's going to be with the dock gang, my friends. You got to spend a little bit extra if you need it. And where that's going to come into play is a game where it's very demanding, or there is scenes where it just needs that little bit of extra boost to catch back up. It might not matter for emulators. It might not matter for, you know, side scrollers and people who are playing games that really don't need the extra juice. But once again, if you're putting it on a display such as your TV, you know that's going to use more system resources. Like, it's going to really require more GPU power to power all of those pixels, give you all the frames that you need to give you a good, smooth experience. So the amount of power that you're putting in the device matters. It's got to split it all up to all the other components, like we've said earlier. The speakers, the RGB, the screen, and it's got to charge your battery at the same time. So power's got to come from somewhere. And it's just like a power supply on a computer. If you buy the bare minimal power supply, you know, let's say your system takes a total of 500 watts to power it, and you put a 500 watt power supply in there, the power supply may work, but it's probably going to run a little hot. It might not last forever. But something like this that's got more than enough power, it's going to run more efficiently, and it's going to run a little bit cooler and probably last you a lot longer as well, because it's a lot less stressed out. So I hope this explains why you need it. I hope it explains, you know, the caveats to it, and maybe to help you figure out what you need. You know, I'm not telling you you need this, but if you want to get what you paid for with your Ally, you do kind of need it. That extra 5 FPS, that extra 5 watts, it matters. Makes the gameplay a little bit smoother. It's just how it is, unfortunately. Now, a quick little update before we go. The giveaway / contest is going to start probably this week or this weekend. I've got to come up with some rules and, you know, figure out what's a good, fair, and easy way for everyone to have a fair chance at getting one of these back plates. And then also, you know, fingers crossed, there's a small possibility, because I started looking into it. I started watching some more videos, and I'm very intrigued now by the Lenovo Legion Go. There's quite a few bit of reasons. One, the screen size is very intriguing to me, and the higher refresh rate. Since I play Call of Duty a lot, that bigger screen is extremely useful for me to be able to have just a little bit more visual and, viewing area and see what's going on the map, a little bit more detail further away. And if I can squeeze a little bit more efficiency, debloat it, tune it, we're going to do it. We're going to squeeze every little bit of juice out of that bad boy humanly possible. So if you have a Lenovo Legion Go, or you're thinking about getting one, say a prayer. That's all I can say, man. Just pray. Like, fingers crossed, rain dance, do whatever it takes, because I would love to get my hands on one after watching all this stuff about it and, diving a little bit more into it. I am really good with debloating. I'm really good with tuning, and I was able to make the Ally work. Like, we've made this work. We've made it work well. That made a huge difference, debloating it and getting rid of all those excess processes and things that we just don't need running in the background. So it's really helpful if you have that kind of like mindset of like, okay, well, I have this. What's the best I can do? Let me make it work. You know what I mean? So if there's ever anything you have a question about, you're looking at doing mods on your Ally, you're looking at doing mods on anything, or you're looking for some accessories, you want to know what I've tested or what I think is good, I've got a plethora of knowledge, a handheld group that I'm in. Also, we've got tons of people in there from other channels, KS Gamer and Gaming for Insight, and all those guys that are in there. They're all very knowledgeable as well. So if there's ever anything that I don't know about, like a newer upcoming handheld, we're all kind of like sharing knowledge at this point. We're all just helping each other out because it's our passion, and we're cool people and they're cool people. And everybody else in there is cool people too. So appreciate you guys sticking around, and yeah, that's it. I hope all y'all have a good afternoon, good evening, or good night.